Hi everyone, I'm San. You're listening to the Pocus podcast. Lately, I've been answering your Q and as frequently on Instagram stories, responding to your questions as a way to interact with you directly. Of course, with each answer only being 1 minute long, it's impossible to share a complete, full response like on YouTube, but I think having something is still better than nothing. Normally, I'm quite lazy about posting stories, so consider this an opportunity for you to ask questions. It also gives me a reason, an extra motivation to post stories. And lately, I've been getting a lot of questions about how to achieve a balanced life, how to balance emotions, how to make things comfortable amidst the hustle and bustle of love, work, friends, so many worries. How can one balance life? I don't know when the concept of balanced life first emerged, but especially in recent years with COVID, people have become more interested in balancing life. Healing from within phrases we hear very often. I feel that everything stems from our thoughts and emotions. For me, balancing life is precisely balancing emotions. When each person feels balanced, it means their life is in balance. And to answer the question, how can one balance life? Perhaps it's about knowing asterisk enough. Knowing enough fundamentally helps us, and that feeling of balance can make us feel satisfied and happy. Living in such a modern world, there are so many changes. As a 90s kid, from elementary to high school and university, my generation witnessed incredible technological shifts. Human life now is vastly different from how it was for us back then. When we were in high school, we'd write love letters to each other, It wasn't like now where you just swipe left or right to get a girlfriend. It was harder back then, but also sweeter. We'd write love letters, and we'd even be too shy to give them directly, so we'd pass them through a friend, a matchmaker friend. It was really cute. Now, with social media and phones dominating, it's so easy to text and get to know each other. From this, many jobs have developed based on the growth of social media, technology, and the internet. I myself work in such a field, a job no one ever imagined could exist, but now it's thriving. Witnessing these changes, I've also felt that human desires and aspirations have shifted. If in the past, a few friends were enough, now we need hundreds, thousands of likes. Only with many comments and friends do we feel attractive, feel amazing. I used to be happy just going out for coffee with family on the weekend. But now, it's like every week you have to go to a resort, travel, fly somewhere to be considered cool. In the past, no one cared how much you earned in a month. No one asked about such things. Or perhaps, on Tet holidays, grandparents and aunts and uncles might ask if you were making money. But now, it's rampant online. I earn 1 billion a month. I earn 100 million a month. Here's how. Follow me to get that money. At the age of 2025, with everything so messy, we are directly influenced by life and everything around us. We might not even realize it, but there are so many influences, making it easy for us to get caught up in fleeting pleasures and superficial joys. And perhaps that's why our inner satisfaction dwindles day by day. We don't feel happy, don't feel complete, don't feel like we're truly living for ourselves. It feels like we're living by other people's standards, living for others' applause. Posting a picture with many likes makes us happy, few likes make us sad. When others go out, we're sad and wish we could be like them. When others have a partner, we're sad too. We feel inadequate. Our life isn't balanced. How can I balance my life when others have so much, posting their stories and showing off, while I sit here with nothing? It's very difficult to find a sense of balance in this world, but difficult doesn't mean impossible. I think one important thing is to control our desires. In life, greed, anger, and delusion are 3 things that control people greatly. And greed, the desire and wish for our lives to have many things, is what we often equate with happiness and balance. You want to be relaxed, have an easy job, high salary. You want to succeed at whatever you start. You also want a loving, doting partner, someone who always makes time for you, but you also want them to be successful in their career, to be perfect. And sometimes you put pressure on yourselves. I'm top of my class, I'm smart, but why don't I get this scholarship or that scholarship like others? Why don't I get IELTS scores like others? I'm at the top of my school, so why do I still feel inferior to others? We're also easily swayed by short-lived joys, by superficial relationships. People you might meet at parties, where you have a lot of fun together and promise future trips, future meetups, but then nothing ever comes of it. And you sit there, disappointed, having thought it would be a wonderful connection in your life, But no, it was just a fleeting pleasure. You find yourself endlessly watching short videos, a continuous stream of content, but in the end, after a day, you don't feel like you've learned anything new. Your shoulders ache from propping yourself up on one side while endlessly scrolling on your phone, lying in bed. Your back is crooked, your body is tired. You feel utterly drained of energy and completely out of balance. Are we living like this? While you want to binge watch this entire series today, how can you find the time to finish that task your boss assigned yesterday? Oh no, how can I balance life when I want to watch movies and finish work? It's impossible. We are being too greedy, wanting too many things. But in our lives, things are finite. The first finite thing is time. We only have 24 hours a day. Subtracting time for sleeping, eating, and hygiene, we don't have much time left. The second finite thing is energy. We also need to sleep to recharge. For many hours, we expend energy on so many things and get exhausted. Yet, we don't sleep. We stay up until 2-3 a.m. watching short online content. How can we wake up at 7 a.m. to go to work day after day like that? How can we be balanced then? Then, you want to focus on developing your career because a strong financial foundation is very important to you. But you're stuck in a relationship, stuck with someone who doesn't love you at all. You cry and grieve all day, blaming yourself, unable to focus even a little on your work. How can you be balanced then? How can you be balanced when we can't even control our own desires? I believe that just a small change can make your life much more balanced, lighter, more comfortable, and happier. When we know what's enough and what's truly important to us at each stage of life, we will only be able to prioritize the most important things to do. As I said before, we have a finite amount of time, money, and also your energy. Okay, money might be something you can spend forever and never run out, but your time and energy will always be depleted if you don't allocate them wisely. So now, sit down and write. What are the 3 most important things you need to do at this time? Focus on them, nurture them. Don't get distracted. You often get distracted, right? Because of distraction, you can't focus on a few important things. You want to do everything, you want to be good at everything. But let's remember, we only have finite resources. Time and energy are finite, not infinite. And now we need to decide what to use that precious, limited energy and time for. For me, it depends on my life goals. Some goals are very big and require a full year of preparation, so of course, I'll need to prioritize them for the whole year. But usually, across the 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, I'll shift my focus every 3 months. Some months, I'll focus more on work because it's a month to earn money, a month with many jobs, earning a lot. But other months, I want to dedicate more time to relationships, spend more time with family, go back to my hometown, meet up and chat with people more often. And then there are times when I focus more on studying than on dating. It's always like that. There will never be balance if we want everything. There will never be balance if we expect everything to be perfect, everything to always be a perfect 10. That's not how it works. Balance is when we allocate our time and energy most appropriately to the most important things, to complete them to the best of our ability. In this life, I think it's evolving more and more, with increasingly overwhelming changes, and that will be immense pressure for future generations when they don't have anything to compare it to. I, for example, can now compare the happiest moments from when I was a student, when I wasn't too concerned with social media metrics. At that time, I knew how beautiful love was. I can compare it with love now, for instance, to understand what kind of relationship I truly desire. Then there's getting swept up by money. Young people now have more opportunities to earn money, which is a positive sign as our country's economy develops. But on another note, you also get caught up in money, forgetting that there are other very important values we need to consider before worrying about money. Moral values, cultural values, intellectual values, the value of love. I often remind myself on days when I feel out of balance. It's usually when I want more. Oh, if only I had this, if only I had more of that. But then I smack myself and say, stop being so greedy. Isn't everything you have today something you wished for years ago? You're living the life you once dreamed of, yet you still don't feel enough. You still don't feel balanced. Lately, to be honest with you all, I've become lazier. The laziest I've been in the 6 years since I graduated until now. Because at this point, I have the right to be lazier after a long period of intense focus on work, career, and earning money. Now I want to relax a little more, to rest, to enjoy life, to be with loved ones, to chat, eat good food, and go to places I like. I'm lazier because I have the right to choose. I'm lazier because in previous years, my priority was work and money. Once I had enough, once I felt sufficient, now my priorities are other things, perhaps love, relationships, or studying. And that's my next stage. Then, at another point, my priority will be family. I'll want to start a family, so I won't need to crave earning even more money. At each stage, we need to have priorities to know to be just greedy enough. Just enough will help us achieve balance. The feeling of balance brings satisfaction and happiness. And that's what I wanted to share with you all today. This podcast might not be too long. Partly, I wanted it to be just enough. It's already 11 p.m., and I'd love to linger a bit longer to say more, but I know I need to know when enough is enough so I can go to bed early, conserve this energy, because I'll continue to create and share more content with you all. So, I'll see you in the next podcast episodes. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and we'll meet again next Tuesday at 10 p.m. Thank you, and I wish you a good night.